Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise of that. But we're going to pick up from where we left off last time with the Rolls-Royce and the wheels scenario. But we have something else happening at HQ 2.0 today. You'll also notice, as in the last video, I have some new microphones, which means I can do the cool walking to and from camera thing which I've been trying to do for years, but you can't normally hear me. So I'm going to enjoy my new microphones. Hopefully that means you can hear me over the noise of that generator. And I'm going to explain what that is all about. Just before that, you'll probably also notice I use my Apple Watch for stopping and starting videos, and it's become a bit of a thing now, and it looks like I'm teleporting because I can do this, where I move from place to place by just tapping my wrist. So, first things first, as you will notice, continuity is not a thing on this channel. Stuff gets filmed when it gets filmed, and I will be wearing whatever I am wearing on the day. So, you'll see the Rolls-Royce behind me is now up on jacks. So let's go and check that out while I figure out how I'm going to film whatever's going on outside. Okay, so I have the wheel trim off the Rolls-Royce. It looks such a state without its wheel trim on. And I found the jack, which is an absolute monster of a thing. Look at the size of that. I mean, it's a huge, great big thing. And for a while, I was really struggling with the fact that that handle, as the jack comes up, will hit this arm of the jack, but it doesn't. It's been designed in such a way that as you crank the handle on this side here, that jack arm will move up and away, which means it doesn't foul, so it never quite fouls the arm on the bit that comes up, even though you'd think as that goes up it would. So it's got a very gentle bend in the handle, which just allows it not to foul. Somebody spent a long time thinking about that before they had CAD to do the design work with it. Right, now all I've got to do is I've got to try and find the jacking point, which I'm guessing is going to be somewhere under there, and hope it's not sod rotten. Great. Well, would you believe that? For all that effort, it's only flat on the bottom. What a waste. Okay, so as you can see, I have got the wheel off. You may have also noticed in the video that these are not done the same way as your normal wheel studs. So on this side of the car, it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but actually it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. They're obviously sided left and right, depending on the wheel orientation, the wheel direction, which did box me for a second, but proves that the factory jack works. I found the original wrench, or I don't know what you call this, a Tommy bar, for taking the wheel studs off. They weren't overly tight. They were put back on by Starman's last time he did. I think it was the shocks at the back here. So it doesn't surprise me they were done up to the correct torque. All I've got to do now is find out where the puncture is. Now I have been around the tyre, and aside a few stones from the driveway, I can't find anything obvious. My original plan was basically to re-inflate the tyre, see where it's leaking, maybe go and get it repaired, but I can already see the tyre is quite disfigured just from a couple of days of sitting here completely flat, which makes me a little bit nervous. And these are not particularly expensive tyres, believe it or not. Even with the little white sidewall bit on them, these tyres are only about £45–50. So it's not worth the risk. They've only done about 1,000 miles since they were fitted, so I'll just get one brand new matching tyre for there, and then pop the wheel back on and just leave the car on the jack for the time being because it seems pretty sturdy. A Waitrose bag to cover up the studs to stop them getting dirty on the Rolls-Royce. Sort of feels appropriate really, doesn't it? Rightio, so I am back in the garage with Tom. You might recognise from Johnny's video, the Blastsmith. So thank you for coming along, Tom.
That's all right, mate, no problem.
So Tom is here. Well, we have been doing some stuff out in the yard here for a Land Rover, not my 90 V8. Long story for another day. But what we are here to do is the Clio 172. So those that have been with the channel for a while will know we've had this car tucked away. It was actually left on the driveway for a while, much like the Volvo, for much the same reason as the Volvo was. But it was a very clean car, a quite low mileage car, and it's about ready to go in now for the cam belt to be done, so it's good to go back on the road, get an MOT on it. But because it's such a clean car, we've got to get this looking good, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So on Tom's advice, the first thing we've done is taken the rocker cover off, not the rocker cover, the plastic engine bay cover, to expose all the aluminium here, the big intake on the Renault Sport.
Can they have been off for a while?
You reckon that'll come up all right?
Yeah, it's really simple to do, mate. Like I say, this engine bay, super original, super nice and clean, but having stood, you've got this oxidisation on almost every surface. It's real light work for dry ice, that. It will come up really, really nicely. While we're in there, we'll give all the inner wings a clean, all your plastics are clean, get all the dust out from the bonnet hinges, etc, etc. Yeah, really simple, easy job. Like I say, it's a lovely car, it's well maintained, so you've not got a lot of oil leaks, things like that to deal with. So yeah, we should get that looking absolutely mint for you, no problem at all.
Excellent, and we've had the Dawn Chorus of East Midlands Airport to help with us. Hopefully my fancy new mics I was telling you about mean you can actually hear what we're saying over that, because you could hear me over the compressor earlier, which is quite impressive. So, without further ado, let's get the fancy cameras on and let's have a little bit of point of view of cleaning the engine bay.
Absolutely, let's get cracking.
Get on with it. It's weird having the camera up close. I have a very Where's Wally look going on with these glasses and this hat. But anyway, you will notice if you're new to the channel, I do like my beanie hats. I'm always wearing one. There's a good reason for that, but that's a story for another day. So, Tom, the blastsmith, has been, and the Clio is looking very, very clean, as you've probably just seen him blasting it. I also took the opportunity while he was here to blast a few other things. So we actually we blasted a spare AC pump for the Volvo. We blasted a steering box, a hydraulic steering pump box thing for the Land Rover, not my Land Rover, but Dr. Nuff's Land Rover. But we also did these two things here. So these are the wheels off the Rolls-Royce. It's actually the wheel with the flat tyre, and the one at the bottom here is a spare. My thinking being is I can get a pair of tyres, swap them over in the garage, and at least the rear's got a matching pair, because this tyre here with the white wall appears to be out of stock everywhere. There is a similar tyre from a different manufacturer. There's also white wall, so I'll probably get a pair of those, so at least the axle matches at the back. But the spare was absolutely shot, so it's quite good. What I'll do is a matching pair on the back of the car, and I will take the one good one of these tyres that's still on the car and use that as a spare. So do a bit of a swapperoo. But while I've got the garage open and while I've got the wheels here, I thought I'd have a go at inflating this tyre just to see where I think the leak is and how bad the tyre is, because I can't see anything obvious on the tyre. I can't see a puncture or anything. So let's go and have a look. Et voila, I think I might have found the problem. So it might not actually be a problem with the tyre, it might just be the tyre valve. So maybe we can get that replaced, but yeah, I definitely need a new spare, so maybe I'll just do them and replace them anyway and get new tyre valves while I'm at it. That's slightly annoying. So one last quick update on the fleet while we're talking about it. The Audi A6, the C6 Avant variant, well, it's going in for a service, mainly because, well, we've had a bereavement in the family, which means we have been doing a lot of mileage in this car. But while it's going in for a service, I'm going to get them to refit the undertray, because the previous owner has handed me the undertray that is missing from the car. I need to maybe see if I can do a repair on it, because it is cracked here, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition. I hadn't realised it was missing the tray underneath, so they're going to order some new fixings, because there's nothing worse than dealing with rusty under tray fixings, and get all of that back on the car while it goes in for its service. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.